Hey, we are back again. Again, we're talking football, but this time we're talking a little
college football,
a little NCAA football. And again, we're going to recap the top 25 games from Week 11.
And we're going to preview the games from Week 12.
From Week 12. Last week in Week 11, we had some Thursday-ranked games and some Friday-ranked games. So we'll jump right into Thursday night. We had Wake Forest at NC State. And NC State has fell off the cliff ever since Clemson.
Yes, they have.
Clemson beat them, and that was
their hopes just fell off the cliff.
I don't think they've won a game since then. They lost 27-23. So Clemson, Clemson broke them. So
yep,
they're done.
There are many teams that were broke this year off of ranked team losses.
Friday night we had two ranked games. We had Louisville at Syracuse. Louisville, man, they're horrible. Syracuse is looking pretty good.
They were so bad that they got their coach fired.
Yeah.
Bobby Petrino's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, can you tell them the score?
54-23. They only beat them with 31. I mean, it wasn't that bad. 54-20. And then we had Fresno State. If you remember last week, we told you Fresno State had jumped up to number 23, and they were playing Boise State.
And the Smurfs beat them.
But Boise State was going to beat them, and they were going to drop out of the top 25, and they did. Boise beat them 24-17. So bye-bye, Fresno State.
Bye-bye, Fresno State.
They're gone.
And Boise State returns to the ranked games.
Yeah, they are up in the top 25 now. And then our favorite game of the week. What about Tennessee shirt? Kentucky
gets spanked.
Man, Tennessee beat them. It's 24-7, and it was uglier than that. I mean, this was a 35-0 looking game.
Domination.
Tennessee's defense whipped them.
Can you tell them the defensive stats
from Tennessee? Had 5 sacks and 2 picks and
multiple hurries,
7 points the entire game, and they almost held them scoreless. I mean, Tennessee's defense was
excellent.
It was excellent. So
that was that was a great defensive performance.
I told you what Kentucky was favored by 10, or 6, wasn't it?
Yeah, 6.
And I told you it's always Kentucky is always a close game. So we took Tennessee in the points, and
this time it wasn't really close.
It wasn't even close. No. Okay, well now we got a little South Carolina at Florida. We called for the South Carolina upset, and they were up 31-14. Choked that puppy away, didn't they?
Yeah, 31-14 lead, and you blow
21 unanswered points from late in the game. That was just
classic Atlanta Falcons style choke job.
Oh, it was ugly. Then we had Ohio State at Michigan State. I actually thought Michigan State might win this one, and the final score was 26-6. But it was
closer than it was. Yeah, if it wasn't for Michigan State turning the ball over on offense and turning the ball over on special teams,
I think that would have been a lot closer game.
But hey, Macho Taco, your team's looking pretty.
I think Michigan State. Honestly, I thought Michigan State should have won the game.
Yeah,
it's just a couple things went the wrong way there.
Yeah. The turnovers can turn the tide of a game, and Michigan State unfortunately was on the other side.
Yeah, we had TCU at West Virginia. TCU's hapless right now. West Virginia beat them 47-10. I think West Virginia.
Man, I just don't know what the heck happened to them. They just fell off a. They're off the same cliff Louisville fell off.
Yeah, I think they're holding hands on the way down.
But hey,
West Virginia's looking. West Virginia made dark horse candidates slip into them playoffs there at the end.
Depending on if Notre Dame slips up with the last 2 games.
We had Wisconsin at Penn State. I really thought Wisconsin had a little bit of heart left. No.
It's gone.
It's gone. 22-10. They lost to Penn State.
Do you think BYU a while back killed off their hopes of a playoff?
I don't know. Oh, neither one of those teams have got a chance to get in. And then we had last year's national champions. If you don't know who that is, that's the Central Florida Golden Knights.
Banners on the wall.
Banners on the wall, baby. It's on the wall. They played Navy, and they were favored by 22 or something. And I said, there's no way they beat. They don't beat them in 22. It was 35-24. They beat them only by 11 points. Again, UCF underachieving, underwhelming.
Underperforming.
Yeah, national champions, baby. Come on now. Don't talk about my national champions like that. Speaking of national champions, Mississippi State went to Alabama, And
shutout again.
Never scored. I said Tennessee scored 21 points on Alabama.
And it got them mad.
And it made their defense. They haven't given up one single point since the Tennessee game. I thought they beat LSU 29-0, and then they beat Mississippi State 24-0.
Do you know what's ironic about
Tennessee made them mad. What?
Both of those teams were ranked.
Yeah, and could not get one single point on those boys.
And we thought the defense was the weak point of Alabama. That is the weak point of Alabama.
Yeah, the weak point of Alabama gave up 0 points against LSU and Mississippi State.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's sad, ain't it? We had Washington State went to Colorado. Washington State flexing that Big 12 muscle.
Washington State Pac-12 muscle.
Pac-12 muscle.
It's the equivalent of a water pistol.
Oh, that's the only team that's good out there. Is
yeah, the Pac-12 is really struggling. And not just this year, but the past year as well.
The crazy pirate out there has got them going. I know they're actually a decent-looking team. They're actually a decent-looking team. We had Michigan at Rutgers. Rutgers is horrible.
Do you want me to put this into perspective on how bad Rutgers is?
Go ahead.
Can you tell me how many wins Kansas has as a football team this year?
I think Kansas is a basketball team. I think they got 3 wins. Kansas has got, man, Rutgers just got 2.
Just 2 wins?
2 wins.
Or 1 win or 2 wins?
I think Rutgers has got 2.
Or 1 win. They are just absolutely horrific, man.
Rutgers is 1-9.
So 1 win.
Oh.
Yeah,
Kansas has got 3 times the wins that Rutgers does. That's bad. That's really, really bad.
It was so bad that Dad had to take a second to look at the stat
I had to
sheet.
look it up just to make sure they only had 1 win. I thought, surely they got more than 1. Nope, they got 1 win. We had Northwestern at Iowa. Northwestern's a little spunky team. Oh, who is representing the West in the Big Ten Championship now?
Northwestern.
An unranked 6-win Northwestern team.
At the time.
That is weak sauce. Weak sauce. Well, Northwestern is 6-4.
6-4.
With that win, they're 6-4.
Yep.
A 6-4 team is in your conference championship game. That's some weak sauce, people. I'm sorry, but
I think that wasn't that the first time that Northwestern's ever went to the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, and maybe the last time they golf clap for Northwestern because they're going to get killed by Michigan. We got Baylor at Iowa State. Iowa State won by 14. We called that when we thought. Baylor's is a scrappy little team, too. Now, then we go to the no defense league.
The Big 12.
Big 12, baby. 0 defense. All offense. We had Okie State at Oklahoma, 48-47.
If you're a top 10 team, how do you possibly give up 47 points and win a football game?
I don't know. Ask Lincoln Riley. I don't know. That's a lot of points.
You'd have to have some sort of talent to do that.
Okie State actually should have won the game. They went for 2 at the end of the game. I mean,
terrible pass at the end.
I mean, that's gutsy. That was gutsy. You're at Oklahoma. Go for that 2 points and win.
That was a terrible pass.
That was a bad, horrible pass for that 2 point.
Threw it at his feet. You can throw him at his feet right here.
Yeah, if he had hands on his knees, he might have caught it. But that ain't gonna happen. We had Auburn at Georgia. Georgia beat them by 17. We thought.
Talk about a team that fell off a cliff after a promising start.
Yeah.
We thought, like, hey, LSU, the LSU loss was a fluke. LSU's a top team in the nation, and we were wrong.
Nope.
And then incoming losses to Mississippi State, embarrassing loss at Tennessee at home. Hosting Tennessee, not at Tennessee. Sorry,
yeah.
It's just.
The underwhelming Auburn. We had speaking of LSU, we had LSU at Arkansas. LSU struggled a little bit. I mean, they still won 24-17.
Their offense lacks pop. It lacks pizzazz. Yeah. It lacks the oomph.
Yeah. You know, LSU's never had that quarterback, that flashy quarterback. At least not in my recent memory.
I swear, Joe Burrow just stands in the pocket all day long, like he's on a vacation. Yeah, he's waiting to make a throw. Yeah. And whenever he does make a throw, it's either late or early.
But LSU still a fantastic. I still think they're probably the second best team.
Defensively they're also pretty good.
We had Florida State at Notre Dame, 42-13. Man, Florida State is just incredibly bad.
A backup quarterback, Dad.
Yeah, Notre Dame's second-string quarterback put up 42 on him.
Brandon Wimbush. Remember Brandon Wimbush?
Yeah, the guy who was losing.
3 picks against Ball State.
Yeah.
I still remember that. That was awful.
That was bad. We had Texas at Texas Tech. Texas won that one by 7. The Red something, whatever. The shootout, whatever shootout they had down there. 41-34. There wasn't any defense. And then we had Clemson at Boston College.
Boston College lost their quarterback early to an injury, and then it was down the hill.
It was still 20. It was still 27-7. They lost by 20, but it wasn't by 40.
But when you look at the offensive numbers, I think there were below 100 yards total offense for the whole game.
Yeah, that was bad. Didn't know it was.
Yikes!
It was a special team touchdown that they scored the 7.
Yeah, that's
so their offense scored. We'll go ahead and jump into Week 12. Do a little predictions for Week 12. We do have one early game. We got a Friday ranked game. Those Smurf turfies that won last week. The Smurfs are actually going to New Mexico to play them. What are the Lobos?
The Lobos.
Los Lobos. Boise State they'll beat them by probably 3 touchdowns or more.
The Smurfs will roam free and conquer New Mexico.
Yeah, they're going to conquer. The Smurfs take New Mexico.
AKA the Broncos.
Isn't that like the next Smurfs movie, The Smurfs Take New Mexico? I think that one. Then we have, we've got some slaughters this week. We've got some.
This week is chock full.
Homecoming.
This week is chock full of games that could potentially become blowouts.
The Citadel at Alabama.
That's actually a game that one of my friends is actually looking forward to.
Just to see what's going to happen. The starters will probably play the first series.
And not play again.
And they'll have the 3rd and 4th string in by halftime. So it's
what is the line on that game?
It's so big they won't put it down. They won't even put a line on it.
It's so big. Holy moly, Dad!
It is horrible. It's gonna again probably. Nobody even knows. It's gonna be so bad.
You want to put a 70-point line on that game?
I don't know. Again, what are you going to do? Is the 3rd or 4th, 5th string? Are they going to let the coaches play the first quarter?
I don't know. Jeez.
They'll bring in the coaches' kids to play. We got Idaho at Florida. Woo, barn burner.
Woo. Florida's going to win by 20.
Yeah, Florida will win by 20. We got Middle Tennessee at Kentucky.
Woo. Kentucky's going to win.
Kentucky's going to win that one probably by 3 touchdowns. Arkansas at Mississippi State. Arkansas sucks too. They only got 2 wins.
And they got 0 conference wins.
They
could potentially tie Tennessee's team from last year for no conference victories.
But they may only get 2 wins, period, total the entire year.
That makes it.
That's a bad SEC team.
That's a bad team, man. That's really bad. Yeah, that's really bad.
We got Penn State at Rutgers. Penn State will beat them by 4 touchdowns probably.
Yeah,
Rutgers is horrible.
Yeah, Rutgers, do you expect them to only have 1 win the entire season? Or do you expect them
I don't think they're going to win another one. No, I don't see them winning another one.
Seeing Rutgers win a football game nowadays is like witnessing a red moon or something, or a blue moon.
I said there's not a lot of overwhelming games. We got Ohio State at Maryland.
Which I think Ohio State will win.
Will win that one. Northwestern at Minnesota.
Minnesota's
actually favored in this game.
Yeah, that's strange.
The Big Ten West champion is at Minnesota, and Minnesota's favored. That's a sad state of the Big Ten, man. That's sad.
I thought Wisconsin was going to win the division. It looked like they were on their way, but
I'll pick Northwestern just because they're on a little bit of a roll lately. But it wouldn't surprise me if Minnesota won that one. We got Utah at Colorado.
We picked the Utes to
the Utes should win
take out the Buffaloes
by 7+. Utah State. Here's a new one in the.
And I'm not talking about the Buffalo Bills.
No, I don't know if they could win in college. Utah State, one of the new ones in the top 25 at number 23. Number 23, Utah State at Colorado State. Utah State should beat the living crap out. I don't know that much about them, but Utah State's 9-1. And Colorado State's 3-7. I'm gonna pick the 9-1 team.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
The 9-1 team.
Well, the Utah State Aggies, huh?
And this is one of the only good games of the entire week. The number 12 Syracuse 8-2 at 10-0.
Number 3 ranked
Notre Dame.
The game of the weekend.
That's about the game of the week. Notre Dame's favored by 10.5.
Syracuse is a scrappy team.
They're a scrappy team, but I think Notre Dame will flex its muscles. I think it's a I'll probably take Notre Dame minus 10.5. I think they'll win by 12 to 14.
Does it really matter if Ian Book or Brandon 3 picks against Ball State Wimbush will start?
I hope the good quarterback starts, not the pass-happy interception guy. We got Boston College at Florida State. I'm not a Boston College fan. I don't think they're that good, but they'll probably beat Florida State.
Even without their starting, without their starting quarterback, or even if their starting quarterback returns.
I probably still want to take Boston College.
And do you know what will happen? Look at Florida State's record.
They are 4-6 right now.
If they lose this game, they could risk one thing that hasn't happened in over 40 years.
Going to a bowl game. Florida State will not go to a bowl game.
Has it really sunk that low for Florida State?
Hey, they brought in Willie Taggart to break records. They brought him in to break records, baby. And he's about to break a 46-year-old record. They're not going to go to a bowl game. How's that for... Oh, man, that's pretty bad. We got West Virginia at Okie State. I will take West Virginia in that one.
Yeah, but it will be tight.
The line's only 5. I think it's a 6-7 point game.
So the bettors have finally realized what kind of conference the
It's still going to be like 52-50.
Yeah, 52-50.
So we got UMass at Georgia. Forte, 1 point spread.
I don't think Georgia will beat them by that much. I think it's a 30-point margin would be more fair.
Yeah, Georgia won't keep their players in that long. We got Indiana at Michigan. Michigan's favored by 28.
Michigan has the top-ranked defense in the country, despite Alabama shutting out 2 opponents in 2 straight weeks.
Yeah, but look at the league Michigan's in. I mean, the only offenses they got to fight. I mean, Northwestern won the West. They're not playing powerhouses up there in the Big Ten. I mean, Penn State's okay. Ohio State may be okay. Michigan State, I think Michigan State's one of the best teams in that league. They just don't get the credit.
Yeah, it's just. The team's, turnovers is what killed Michigan State.
We got Oregon State at Washington. Oregon State's, man, they're hapless this year. They got 2 wins.
Yeah. Oregon State, has anyone really heard about Oregon State lately? I mean, they've been caught in the shadows of horribleness for like 5 or 6 years.
The line on that one's 33.5. I think Washington will probably take that. We got Duke at Clemson. Clemson's favored by 28. I don't think it'll be 28.
I think it'll be closer than that. You want to pick Duke in the 28?
I'm going to take Duke plus 28.
Although the Clemson's offense seems to be finding its stride.
And here we have the biggest line of the week. There's one more than 41.
Is there one going to be bigger than Alabama's over the Citadel?
1-10 Rice. 1-10 Rice.
You mean the kind of rice that I eat after eating breakfast?
I don't know what kind of rice this is, but it's bad rice. It's like 3-week-old rice sitting on the kitchen table. At LSU. 42 points. I don't know if LSU has scored 42 points this year, but Rice is so bad.
They may try.
I think I'm going to take LSU.
Take LSU with the 42.
I think they're going to do 42. I mean, they might score 28 points, and the offense not even been on the field. They got an interception, a punt, a kickoff return, a thump, pick six, scoop and score or something. We got Kansas at Oklahoma. I told you there's some bad games this week.
Yeah.
And this isn't basketball. This is football.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma's favored by 35.5. Oklahoma will probably win by 35.5.
Well, Kansas is terrible. Even with they got 3 wins this year. This makes it a good Kansas team. So Oklahoma will win by 20 instead of 30.
They got 3 times as many wins as Rice. This is an interesting game. We got Iowa State, Texas. Number 15 versus number 16. That'll be an interesting game. I will take Texas just because they're in Texas. And I'll take Texas by 3 to 6 points. Another interesting game, we have the last year's national champions, baby.
Quote, unquote.
The national champions, UCF, are taking...
Banners on the wall.
Banners on the wall, man. Don't make fun of my champions. Cincinnati is at UCF. UCF's favored by 7. Who are we going to pick? The Bearcats.
Bearcats for the upset.
Finally, somebody shuts up the Golden Knights. And then the last game of the night at 10:30, we have Arizona at Washington State. Washington State's favored by 9.5. They'll beat them by 10+. So.
Yes.
So that is our NCAA football photo week.
And I hope you like it. Send us a comment down below and see what you think about this week and the upcoming week.
And put a like, put a subscribe.
Hit the groovy baby button.
Hit the groovy baby button's over here in his head somewhere again, like always. Other than that. Other than that, we are gone. See you later
next week.